Good morning. It's a pleasure to be with y'all today. So if there's anything I can guarantee you this morning, it's that something I say is going to hurt your feelings. So when you get your feelings hurt, just consider the fact that generally when we get our feelings hurt, it's because something hits a little too close to home. Why bother to belong? Why do we need this? You hear it all the time. We've heard it for years. Every time the dues statements go out, why do I need this? But it's changing big time. So magnetism is going to be so critical to having that it factor for your members. Because what does this create? It creates community. And if y'all know anything about me, you know I love to say things out loud that nobody else wants to say, and I take the bullets for it, and that's fine. We talk a lot about diversity in our industry, but we don't do it very well. We haven't talked nearly enough about inclusion. Inclusion says, oh, you don't look like me. Let's talk about what our experiences have been and how we can grow together. We have got to stop calling it diversity. We've got to call it inclusion. And this, y'all, if we don't solve this, the associations will die. Because right now, our leadership on the whole does not look like our membership. And our membership does not necessarily look like the communities that we serve. There's a lot of room for growth here. And it's not because somebody looks different than me that their important information should be shared. It's because they have important information to share. And them looking different from me is a perk. What are the truths? Are you willing to address them? How strong are you willing to be now that you've discovered where your opportunities lie? One of the other invisible factors that creates that amazing association, and that's humility. Y'all, that's the most important thing we can create in our leadership and in our associations is a sense that maybe we don't all know everything. If you want to get people to react to you and to help you make changes and move, you've got to have humility. And that's the environment we have to create if you want to draw new people in and give them a place to shine and grow. When you've got leadership that's full of arrogance, nobody new is welcomed into that circle, no matter what they look like, because there's no room for their ideas. Humility, y'all, it has to come back into our industry. And then we have delegation. This is a very critical, non-visible skill. It's a wonderful series because you go from controlling everything to realizing there's jobs you can do, but you could let others help. And then you move into that to letting them do the activities and you help when they need it. Sometimes you're going to have to give them a project and let them succeed or maybe fail, because failure is okay. When you're able to delegate and get some things off your plate, how much more can y'all get done? I get it. You have no more hours in the day. That's the best time to put on the cloak of humility and confidence and say, you know what? I'm going to trust somebody else to do something. Thinking about these invisible things, there's just not words to describe what the room feels like when those aspects are there. But you know the room's different. The new blood is not going to appear overnight when you've been in status quo mode for too many years. And a lot of your new blood, by the way, doesn't feel included, so you don't even know who's out there that's willing to be involved. However, if you're creating an environment that says, we can't be mediocre anymore, we have to be amazing. We have to be the people who define our value, define the value for our constituents, define it for our community. When you're not mediocre, what kind of leaders are going to appear? The amazing leaders. And then what you'll find is that when you have exposed all of your members to what's happening in this new community-minded association, the ripple effect is strong. They're going to want to reach out to their colleagues. They're going to want to talk about where their engagement is changing the industry and how they are affecting things on a big level.